Hello viewers, welcome to Go Loop Audio. Today I'm going to look at the reasons why I sold my Sonicware SmplTrek. Reason 1. Screen size. Sure, it looks great in the marketing videos and in the YouTube reviews, but they have a very zoomed in view of the screen. When you actually buy the device and see it in reality, the screen size is very small. It uses a 1.5-inch OLED display, and that's 1.5 inch on the diagonal. For UK viewers, that's about the size of a large postage stamp. So for me and my fading eyesight, it was just a little bit too small. Reason 2. MIDI editing capabilities. So when I first started entering MIDI notes on a MIDI track, I soon wanted to be able to edit them after the fact. One of the operations I wanted to do was lengthen one of those MIDI notes. Unfortunately, there was no way to do this. You can only edit the length of MIDI notes as you enter them. So what you have to do then is delete the MIDI note, enter it again, at which point you can adjust the length of the MIDI note, so then you have to listen back to the music to see if it works. If not, you have to repeat the process, delete the note, re-enter it, adjust the length, and listen again. That's quite a cumbersome process. There were a few other missing MIDI editing capabilities, but that was the main one I remember. Reason 3. Lack of updates. Looking at the website, it's been almost a year since the last SmplTrek update, and that one we were waiting 2 years for in itself. It's understandable. Sonicware are a small manufacturer and they need to focus on releasing new products to keep the business going. They do release firmware updates for all of their products, so it's not as if you're totally unsupported. And the Sonicware SmplTrek was released many years ago, so even the fact that they did do a firmware update a year ago is still quite good. But you just won't see the level of updates with other manufacturers, like for example Akai and their MPC range. So to the final and main reason I sold my Sonicware SmplTrek, well, my circumstances changed. As you can see, I'm here in my new studio space, but back when I started the channel and bought the SmplTrek, I just had available a small coffee table in my living room. And the idea was that I was going to buy a lot of small handheld portable devices and see what I could actually make of such a small space. And the SmplTrek fit that bill perfectly because it's very compact in size and I could use it as my main MIDI sequencer for the whole setup. And it could do most of the work to start with. Multiple tracks, audio tracks, global tracks, MIDI tracks, drum tracks. It had everything I needed to start, and then I could, in future, add more devices to the mix because it has the MIDI in-out capabilities. Now, soon after I started the channel, a room became available that I could use. Hence my previous renovating studio room video. And then time moved on and I was able to buy bigger devices. For example, in the background, you can see my Akai MPC 1 Plus. So moving forward with the channel, the Sonicware SmplTrek was no longer required. The Akai MPC serves as my main sequencing device and sampler and so much more. If you have the space, I thoroughly recommend buying something like the Akai MPC as your main brain of the studio to start with. So that's it. Those are the main reasons I sold the Sonicware SmplTrek. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and buy it. If you have the same reasons for purchase that I did back at the start of my channel, you want to buy a small compact device, you want it to be portable, it's a great choice. It's worth looking at. Also, Sonicware are producing lots of cool new stuff. Recently at Super Booth, they demoed their new minimal device. It looks really cool, sounds great. So they're definitely a company worth keeping an eye on in the future, and I may even buy another device as well. Okay, so those are my reasons. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.